Perfect. It worked. Yay. I think it did. Yes.
Well done.
All right. We are live on YouTube. It's Monday morning. Oh, it's Monday evening. And we are working with the book, The Invocation of Presence. And I'll start sharing my screen. All right. It looks like we left off on page 74.
We left off on where the paragraph is the sensation of remorse.
Oh, perfect.
It's actually the sensation of remorse is often misidentified.
Hmm.
Go down a little bit further. There you
Oh,
go.
this
Yeah.
paragraph?
Yeah, that's what I marked in my book.
Oh, great. Perfect. All right. So I'll get started.
Okay.
The sensation of remorse is often misidentified as a pleasant sensation. In the same individual, we will find the sensation of remorse under many different emotional aliases. If we examine our emotion, we may find that we seem to have dozens, but in fact, there are no emotions in ordinary man, none whatever. Sets of sensation are given emotional names, yet they are not emotions, but actually sensations. These sensations are given names of emotions because they are associated with a psychological gain or because an event thought to be emotional may activate recognizable sensations. I'll just read that paragraph again. If we examine our emotions, we may find that we seem to have dozens, but in fact, there are no emotions in ordinary man, none whatever. Sets of sensation are given emotional names, yet they are not emotions but actually sensations. These sensations are given names of emotions because they are associated with a psychological gain or because an event thought to be emotional may activate recognizable sensations. People who frequently feel nauseous often manifest in certain ways labeled as emotional, and we are conditioned to think of sensations as emotions. A state name such as sad, upset, unhappy, or confused would be much more accessible if we were able to see that the stomach is jangled and nauseous. Emotional moods are actually very simple sensations, W said. G said, in contemporary society, there is a certain vanity involved with the prestige of being considered emotional. And if people ever came to realize that they had no emotions whatever, especially the more dramatic, in the Sufi tradition, the work term negative emotion is technically defined as a sensation or group of sensations which have been wrongly identified as emotion and have somehow come to be called by an emotional name and venerated as an emotion. Like I'm just having a hard time connecting the dots. In this paragraph, he's saying that we name certain emotions, but ordinary man
Yeah.
does not have them, and they are sensations. So I'm not really understanding what that
In
means.
the other book, I think it is. I think it's Life in the Labyrinth, where he says that what we call emotion is just a negative reaction, um, and actual emotion, the work of real emotion is communication. So I think is using sensation as a negative emotion. Here it says Sufi tradition that work on negative emotion is technically defined as a sensation or a group of sensations. So what is called reaction is termed emotion, but as per EJ, it's not emotion. EJ uses the term emotion. He says the only job of emotion is for communication. If that helps.
Mhm. That is very interesting. The real job of communicate emotion is communication. This reminds me of, I think we read in HPM where in the waking state, a real emotion is not just felt by you, but it is automatically experienced in others around you when it's a real emotion of the essential self. So now maybe somehow that relates to communication.
Okay. In HBM, what does he say about emotions and real emotions? And what does he mean by sensations here? The work term
Think that
negative emotion is technically defined as a sensation or group of sensations that are wrongly identified as emotion. So if we have a reaction, an automatic response to something, if it's mechanical, no matter good or bad, happy, sad, that is a negative emotion. It's a response to a sensation.
So would you say that emotion will have a sensation in the same way that a hot or cold touch will give me a certain sensation?
That what?
Like if I'm touching hot food, I get a
No,
certain sensation.
it's the next it's the next moment that counts. So you touch something really cold, let's say, right? With your finger. Then you react to that. You go, "Oh my god, it's cold." That second part is an interpretation of those sensations as good, bad, or ugly. So that's an interpretation of the sensations. I feel this cold, and I've been trained in my brain that's bad, scary, or horrible. Let's say you see a duck, all right, and you go,
Also, also can be in this case, as Jay says, it's also not ugly sensations. No, that is difficult to swallow, but because we are trained or compelled to think of reactions to bad things, no, but uh, happiness and joy would also be interpreted in that way, no?
yeah,
Yes.
Um, I found very interesting what, because I am a way very interested in that thing. The part that says that can you go for the past when it says that emotions have been praised as something.
Yes.
Yes, no. Oh, he's a very
Sensations are praised. They're
yes, yes, yes,
uh,
valued. No. Oh,
oh, they
yes,
have real feeling about.
yes, yes, yes. Because intellect is sometimes devaluated in the sense of he's a very generous, emotional man, and that thing, no, and that is that can be very relative. That interpretation of no? Anyway, that is what I want to say.
Yeah.
Can I continue
All right.
reading?
Yes,
It's
attached.
also,
Because I've seen.
Hang on, hang on. Go ahead,
Yes,
Nishan.
Nishan.
no, I was just saying it's also about like and dislike, right? You get a sensation. If you like it, you get happy.
Mm,
Dislike, you get mad or unhappy.
mm,
And then, you just categorize that, oh, no, this is good, this is not good, because it made you unhappy, you did not like it.
yes,
Like if somebody hands you an award and you have an immediate response of, "Oh my gosh, how good this is so good." That's automatic. And from this
Yeah.
definition, it's a negative emotion.
I
Yeah,
like
I
the.
always, I always knew I deserved an award.
We think so too. We
Yes.
believe you should get an award. I'm sorry you didn't get it, but we were on your side, okay?
Number one, Nishant. I like the.
Number one can't be taken away from me.
I like the the way you interpret it, but it's a uh, it's a paradox, what I would say. But the way you said, the way you interpreted, the way we interpret that sensation, no, it's a very interesting way of seeing this. You have a feeling, sensation, and instantly there is an interpretation, probably in the mind or whatever, and that is a reaction to something probably learned about, and you have a feeling, and you think you are going emotional, and blah 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 blah, no, but it's awkward, no, in a way. Okay. That's
Okay, I think I read until this paragraph, or maybe the previous one.
We are in a technical definition.
Okay, go ahead, Bernie.
In a technical definition, the words have been chosen very carefully. For instance, in our tradition, called by means invoked. A negative emotion is actually a sensation. Then only higher emotions are real emotions? W asked. Yes, you replied. Real emotions have no sensation. They have feelings. Real emotions have no moving centrums, reverberations. If you had real emotions, again, if you had real emotion, there would be no sensations such as what you call joy and ecstasy accompanying it. What you call ecstasy is not emotion but sensation. Furthermore, what you normally call thought is not true thought. It is a moving centrum reverberation, a moving centrum event.
Hmm.
And Not to digest and swallow, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Anybody else want to continue reading?
Yeah, I can read, but what, do you want to discuss this
Yes,
last
please.
sentence?
Yeah.
So, um, I just remember all the definitions that have been given to us, from elementary school. This is the definition of this. This is the definition of this. So anytime we see that, whatever is the object is, we just remember the definition.
Mm.
So that would be, I think, that comes as a moving centrum. Normally called thought is not true thought, a moving centrum event, moving centrum reverberation. But this is interesting that when real emotions have no moving centrum reverberations.
Really, I think real emotions may also have moving reverberations.
See what comes, or uh, I can continue reading. Let's see what we find.
Okay.
On the other hand, real higher mentation does not reverberate in the moving centrum. The passage of real thought produces secondary and tertiary reflexes, which are called ordinary thought, actually sensations. The passage of real thought produces secondary and tertiary reflexes, which are called ordinary thought, actually sensations. Therefore, unevolved man has never had a thought or emotion in his life, but he thinks he has. What he is describing as thought and emotion are in fact reverberations of sensation in the moving centrum.
I would like to say something for us all to think, no? To ponder this word. You know, words spoken or heard can elicit reactions. And it's very incredible if you think about it that nothing physical happens. It's a interpretation, as David says, and a reaction to something that is acquired, uh, probably programs, no? And word is powerful, they say, no, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But it is powerful because in a way we have given that power.
We
In
give it that
reality,
power. Yeah.
yes, yes. We're given without knowledge, probably, no? And we can react, you know. I remember a phrase or concept. Sometimes I try to say it as well as I remember. No, it's not exactly, but it says something like this. Uh, uh, a word can elicit many reactions. Um, no, I don't remember exactly, but it meant something in the line that uh, we could feel many feelings from a word, but in reality there is a sound in the air, no? But then comes the paradox. The man said, uh, but pinch your feet with a nail, and you will elicit 1,000 words real. No, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you mean, no? Yeah. Okay. That's that's what I was trying to convey, but I don't remember. I look it up, and next time I will bring it because uh, it's very interesting how we react to words, and a simple puncture in your feet or your toe or whatever will elicit 1,000 words of uh, um, wrong. No, you're feeling wrong.
Yeah, so that would be considered, that's what we think as thought,
Mm,
right?
mm.
Just that
Good.
reflex,
Yes,
we think
yes.
that is a thought, but as per EJ, that's not a thought. So
Yeah.
it says unevolved man has never had a thought or emotion in his life,
Mm,
but he
mm.
thinks he has.
Yeah, because the brain is going. I think too much, da da da. It's actually what's called associative thinking.
Hmm.
You think of this, then this comes, and then this comes, and then this comes, and then this happens, and suddenly you're thinking about boats on the river, you know. So, and that's in the chapter on HBM called mentation, or maybe it's in practical work on self. Mentation is original thought. Can we have original thought? Yes, we can.
We were reading this book yesterday where it mentioned about if two um, what was it, Bernie? It said two of those centers are stimulated in a child. It will uh, help develop the learning
Hmm.
more
Yes, we're
than
talking
what were
about
the two?
you
Yeah.
were you were reading in the, let's see, in the hidden work with Pat. There was a chapter that in mother and child, I
Hmm.
remember, and
Yeah.
EJ was talking about it. It was not talking exactly about. He was using an analogy of the being and the absolute, and he was using the mother-child relation. And in in between lines, he was saying that the education these days has is a memory and a lot of programming to be part of the system in a way, no? But he said that maybe in the future, real teachers could would do a difference, and he told about a moment in the learning of a child that he could be help me, Nishant. Um,
Yeah. It
uh,
said
two
it
shocks, two
stimulate
shocks, yes,
two shocks. Yeah.
shocks. That maybe enlightened the
Hmm.
boy, or the girl. But it's difficult to understand because he didn't say what those two shocks were anyway.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
it's interesting how different situations of books relate to one another, no? Because yes, Sunday night we were reading that book, and it has a connection with what we are doing now, no?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, because that was also a topic of learning, and this is also learning and thought and thinking.
When I first heard this kind of statement that we don't have a thought, we don't have a real thought, we don't think, and we don't feel, we don't have emotions. I made many years ago, an workshop with a guys. Maybe you heard the EST organization.
Oh boy.
Oh my God!
That's
Uh,
going back a while
yes,
for both of us.
In California,
Yeah.
it was a very strong conversion organization, but it was I afterwards realized that there was a business going there, no? But anyway, the guys that were driving the workshop were some of them were high-end military guys, you know, very strong, very you felt all the time fear, and that was on purpose done, you know, because when you are in a state of fear, thoughts and you are near to what is called conversion. You can change your beliefs. It's very dangerous in a way, you know, if you fall in hands that people that are not looking for real awakening and illumination. But anyway,
In,
but that
yes,
is the first time I was uh, bullied in a way that says you don't think, you think, you don't feel emotion, you think emotions, and that was very terrible to because it was considered uh, not that in the way that says a biological machine like EJ says, but in similar, but very more strongly, you are. They said you are uh, you are you are a shit machine. You know, you are riding anus. Uh, well, what an experience it was. Anyway,
yeah.
did you do that, Frank? Frank, David, sometime?
I never took the course, but I went to the introductory. It was actually
Hmm.
given by Werner Erhard. You know,
Yes,
it was
yes.
in, I actually met, not in meeting, but I saw him and it was not my cup of tea. You there's a big, 600 or 700 people
Yeah.
doesn't quite work for me.
You know,
Mm.
what Bernie just described almost sounds like hypnotizing you through fear, and then,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
it's kind of
But
sounds similar like that.
at the end, it was 4 days. No, very, very.
Wow.
You know, like the military. You know that those films that go on, and when the sergeant bullies you, and is very strong, and you are fearful all the time. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. But I must say, I paid two. In that time, I paid $200, and I think I stayed because I had paid $300. I didn't want to lose them, but because many times I wanted to escape. No? But strangely, many people that took the workshop uh, find it very. They were very happy afterwards. You know.
Sure.
Yes, because no, it's not all bullshit. It's interesting, the experience. But
Well, it's a good point that you're making because how do you actually affect real change?
mhm,
Okay. And in the Gurdjieffian work, they talk about rearranging the furniture.
mhm,
And in the Werner Erhard EST, I felt they had spectacular ways of rearranging the furniture, but not affecting real change.
mhm,
For me, real change consists of changing my relationship to the mechanicality of my machine, the absorption of my essential self to the mechanicality. And as it gets less and less absorbed, that I count as real change.
yes, yes. You know, thank you, David, because now I realize something that I missed. Those people that I say that very happy at the end, they were really, really happy because they had become happy robots. You know,
Hmm.
they were happy being robots. They had
Yeah,
now no feeling, and in reality, a robot is very happy with because he doesn't doubt. You know, he doesn't doubt. He's happy. Um, there are many people that you know that they say, "No, I'm very happy with it because I don't." In Spanish is no, I don't have doubts. You know, I don't have doubts. And the fanatic is a very happy in a way because he has no doubts. All is
sure.
written and see, yes, Juana, you know.
What a
Anyway,
lovely place to live, right?
yes,
Yeah.
And
with
how
Trump.
long does that last, right?
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'll continue reading. However, because remorse is present during all negative episodes, which is to say, any event which includes organic sensations, especially anxiety, we can use this powerful, ever-present sensation for our work. Anxiety, usually understood to be an emotional state, is a sensation resulting from the intentional or accidental agitations of the nervous system. Anxiety produces hypothermia, which is a character which is characterized by the temporary lowering of the temperature of the body.
Hmm.
This physiological change, in turn, produces symptoms such as shivering, agitation, feelings of impending doom, fear, uncertainty, and restless wandering. In some cases, hypothermia can even be the cause of such states as suspicion, paranoia, and jealousy. That's very interesting. Let us examine the five primary organic strivings, which the Tibetans called the skandhas: pride, lust, hate, envy, jealousy. In other words, the primary negative emotions and the six lower worlds produced by these strivings:
Hmm.
anger, hatred, fear, jealousy, lust, and insatiable hungers, and karma. This paragraph sounds very much from like the ABD, the later part of the ABD, which is accumulated result of the momentum of all organic tendencies. Exposure to organic life automatically continues and reverberates even beyond the veil. long after our passage out of the electric magnetic field of organic life, producing the helpless tendency to take rebirth in organic form. I'll repeat this paragraph again. Exposure to organic life automatically continues and reverberates
Hmm.
even beyond the veil, long after our passage out of the electric magnetic field of organic life, producing the helpless tendencies to take rebirth in organic form. And I pass there.
Can we pause there, David or Nick?
Yes.
Remarks?
Yeah, well, you guys are doing the readings, right? Every morning, ABD.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, how does this paragraph relate to the readings you're doing?
Talks about the six lower worlds. I only think this is the only connection. I don't know. Actually, I don't even remember these readings. Every time I read that, it feels like first time.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
nice. It is, actually. It is the first time. So, I
I
think it's in chambers. Go ahead, Bernie. I'm sorry.
no, sorry. I associated this pride, lust, hate, James with the Christian or Catholic commandments, no, the sins.
Seven
And I
deadly
see,
sins.
yes, deadly sins, and the Tibetans have their
Yeah.
organization also, no. But I don't see in this case the classic commanding to feel guilt, that is classic to Catholicism or Christianity. Um, this
Hmm.
is this is more related to rebirth and remorse. No remorse that is. I really don't understand too much, but anyway, I would
Yeah.
like I would like the group to share their sensations or their thoughts about this.
Yeah. I
It's,
think it's in the, go ahead, Nishant.
no, no, please.
No, I was going to say that I think it's in the sixth chamber where you began, maybe it's the fifth chamber, I can't remember, where you begin with the responsive guides, right?
Unresponsive guides.
No, that's later. Unresponsive
Oh,
guides.
Mhm.
So the helpful entities.
Yes.
And then you're going to see in there concepts of pride, envy, jealousy. You're going to see that discussed a little bit. And the cleansing radiation at that time to cleanse that away in a sense, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
And if you can't hang out there, you still have it in your being and you have to move on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it seems like you have a choice when you experience those cleansing radiations. Either you can face those radiations or just hide away. And it seems like most of the time it's too unbearable and you are just hiding away. And that's like towards the cycle of rebirth.
Yeah. And so isn't that what we're practicing during this lifetime? Can we
Right.
handle the power of that moment where, and EJ says, may I be led safely across the dangerous ambush of the labyrinth? It's so we're going to get hit with a Mack truck, as they say. That's a big giant truck here, Bernie.
Yes, I know.
You're gonna get hit by a Mack truck. Do you have a choice at that moment? How skilled are you is the question. Are you a skillful dancer and you can stay with it? and the cleansing radiation is cleaning up your jealousy, it's a tough play, man. It's a tough play.
Well,
You know,
when I read every day the ABD, I have two thoughts, and Nishant and Nick maybe have other thoughts, no? But I have a feeling that we are somehow helping the guys that are in the labyrinth, dead or ghosts or whatever, no? But also we are helping ourselves
Yes.
because we are. It appears to be that we have an opportunity to make preparation for that moment. No, I don't know if that moment is only when we die physically, or it's an everyday practice for what for the moment we are living. I don't know, but
yeah,
anyway, there is a practice we are trying to do here, no, and
you
maybe
know,
that is go on.
go ahead, Bernie.
No, 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 no. I finished.
I
Please
So,
want
go.
to I want to start reading. I haven't been reading for a while, but I want to start reading again because to me it's practicing, it's me practicing what it's going to be like in that chamber. See, I take it as literal when I
yeah,
read this stuff, you know, that this is happening. And if you read like seventh or eighth chamber and you go, the red, cleansing radiation, the powerful, can you, could I handle that? What do I need to do to be able to handle it? What kind of powerful active surrender can I bring to that moment?
Yeah, in ABD and most of the angels healing journey,
Mm,
there's always this option given that one of the radiation is harsh and intense, and the other is soothing and inviting, and it encourages to go through the harsh and intense radiation and not be attracted towards the the calm and soothing and inviting. Yeah.
so when I read that in Nishant, I read that stuff in those chambers, and I imagine myself in that moment, and I get him by this cleansing radiation. I'm looking around for the soft, mellow, happy light, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can't bear it. So if I know that, maybe I can stay in that radiation 1/10 of a second longer. Maybe.
Because Rajan in one of his lectures was saying that if you did a practice one time, you develop one, like for example, one strength,
Hmm.
and you practice the same thing 10,000 times, you have a 10,000 strength at that point.
Yeah. Well, those people like you three that are reading every single morning, guess what you're doing? Right?
Point. Yeah.
You're practicing 10,000 times.
Hmm.
It's great work. Great work.
yeah. When we read, on a daily basis, I find myself sometimes becoming identified with the people that I'm reading for. Especially, we have a list where there are people who have died and then the people who have not passed on. And some of the people's name that you have been reading for months now, and then they suddenly transition from not passed on to recently deceased.
Hmm.
So that was like a turning point, at least for me, where I started to feel more identified with the voyagers that I'm reading for.
Hmm.
So that brought a little bit of more seriousness to the readings.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that you're reading for actually needs the guidance, Nikhil. You know, the person that you're reading that's dead, okay, is sitting there lost in the bardos, and then he goes, "Now I am experiencing the clear light of objective reality." What if you're like lost in the bardos, and suddenly you can hear that? You go, "Oh, now I know where I am."
Yeah, yeah, very nice.
or, or some of those horrible in the 30s and 40s, those chambers, when it's like, what is it, the broad jawed creatures.
Heavy
Yeah,
job. Yeah.
the creatures who will eat your guts out.
Those guys. Uh,
Even back to this paragraph where it says exposure to organic life automatically continues and reverberates even beyond the veil. So I guess that kind of seems to me that the more identified I am with the machine during the lifetime, the more difficult it is for me to be facing the harsh and intense radiations. Because it seems to me that I'll be attached to the soothing and calm reverberations.
so if we have a reverberation right now today, like you always react, when let's say you go in and your professor says, okay, good, we've come this far in the book. And then, so tomorrow, this week, I want you to read these 38 pages and do these exercises, right? And they're like calculus beyond or whatever math you're using, because it's going to be one of these things, buddy, you know. And you go, right? That's a reaction, Nikhil, right?
Yes,
So you're going to have that in the Bardo
probably.
unless you have a chance to work on it today, right? And the teacher says, okay, we're going to do 55 pages tomorrow. And on Sunday, you have got to turn in, these 85 questions. And you go, yes.
Or you say, "Oh no, not this again." Yeah.
Because you've got to ask yourself, why did the universe put you in this position? And I ask this to all of us. Why did the universe put us in this position, exactly in this position today, with these elements pressing on us?
Good, good question.
Because that's the work we need, and we're capable. So nothing is given that you can't actually handle. That's somewhere in the Bible, actually.
Nice.
You know, it repeats itself many times. The phrase, "Where do you want to go?" I don't know, anywhere but here. We try to escape. We try to escape. Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
So what if you could flip that during your lifetime right now, Bernie? What if you and I can flip it and it says, where do you want to be? And you go, I want to be right here, right now, with this, me being tested in the way I am today.
Good point.
What if you could actually say that? Something horrible happens and I just want to be somewhere else. I want to be on this island near the ocean, and or maybe I want to be right here, right now,
Yeah.
because I'm the guy that's right here, right now, and I can do it. It has nothing to do with anybody else, by the way.
Excellent point.
Oh, looks like there's just two paragraphs to finish the chapter. So let's
Yes.
just
Yes.
Oh,
go through
go for
this.
it, because then we'll know everything. Excellent. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Read away.
Anybody else wants to read?
I could. Am I audible?
Yes,
Okay, just show the screen.
I think I'm showing the screen. Maybe I'll just zoom in a little bit.
Starting from.
Let's start with nevertheless, I guess.
Okay. Nevertheless, the sensation of remorse is a part of all negative episodes. Therefore, remorse should be the primary reminding factor to invoke presence. It is advantageous to use the sensation of remorse as a remembering factor because it is more frequently evoked in the course of ordinary life, much as we prefer to think otherwise than positive remembering factors and thus provide more external reminding factors. Secondly, the sensation of remorse occurs during stress, when presence is most necessary. When we have invoked presence, we can remember this too shall pass. Thirdly, the invocation of presence is a sure cure for negative episodes. For presence, when properly invoked, can be in the moment take authority over the machine, the beginning of real will.
Wow.
Mhm.
Nice.
Gran finale. Yes. Gran finale.
So, David, I have answered to the question you asked before, why we are all here. For me, it's the second last paragraph that this too shall pass.
Yeah, but it's different than I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. This too shall pass implies I'm dealing with this. Okay. And that's a thing of great beauty.
This too shall pass also inherently has a sense of awareness
Yeah.
about it.
Yes. It's present. 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 You're in the present. The only real time, because the past and the future is only memory and evoked memory, you know. But it's not that easy. It's easy to say.
Yes, easy to say and study, but difficult to put into action and practice.
Yes. Well, that's the whole
But
game.
we persist. But we persist.
We persist.
Yes.
All right, so let's stop here. And
Thank you,
next
Nikhil.
week, we will be beginning with chapter 12, a step-by-step method to invoke presence. Wow,
There it is.
that's
We should have just read this chapter first. Shoot.
is all right.
Thank
Well, thank you guys for coming in, and I
Yes.
look
you,
forward to seeing you
Nikhil.
guys
Thanks,
Thank
next
you
week.
again.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.